So I recently posted a video where I talked about my new Bronco and all the things that I don't like about it. And I think people kind of got the wrong impression that overall I don't like the car. And they couldn't be further from the truth. Really, what comes up as a question is the base model Bronco all you really need? And I think the answer for me is yes. So I want to talk about some of the features in this truck that I find to be important features for me. And I also want to address some of the comments I got on that last video, because people were saying, oh, you're comparing, one guy said oranges to grapes, I think, which is even further than apples to oranges. Saying like, oh, you're comparing a Raptor or an F-150 Platinum or the Porsche Macan or the BMW, to a base model truck. You can't compare those two because those cars are 3 times the price of the Bronco. And that's not true. So I typically buy all my cars used. In fact, this is a used Bronco. Sure, it's only a year old as a 2022 with low miles on it, but it's still used. Now, the thing that differs in the Bronco is paying. Yes, you have to pay more to buy a used Bronco than ordering a brand new one, because if you want it right now, you got to pay for it. You just can't go on the lot and buy a new one. And you might be able to with some specific models and maybe in your area, but not for what I wanted. So my Raptor, well, that all worked out through trade deals. Basically, I had an initial $3,000 cash investment to trade up to the Raptor. So that's not 3 times the price of this Bronco. My Porsche Macan was $30,000. My C450 AMG was, I think, $30,000. My BMW 328D at the time that I bought it was $24,000. The 2017 X5 that my fiance drives, we bought that for under $30,000. And all those cars had more features than this base model Bronco does, like heated and cooled seats. The Platinum had massaging seats, dual zone climate control, all the things I complained about that the Bronco doesn't have in the last video. But what they don't have is all the off-road features that I wanted in this base Sasquatch. So for me, this is going to be an off-road vehicle. I'm going to use it off-road, probably more than 90% of all the others you see. Even the ones that are done up with big lifts and wheels and tires, they'll never touch the dirt. I intend to actually use this truck for what it was essentially built for. Now, a lot of the other people complaining about the price tag, they're saying, well, I got all those features and I paid $50,000. Right. Maybe you got a Black Diamond or an Outer Banks or something like that, and you were able to get it in the low 50s or even in the high 40s, but you probably didn't get the Sasquatch package. In fact, I know a lot of people that I commented back and forth with, yeah, they didn't get the Sasquatch package. Well, that's like, depending on what trim level you're choosing, that's over a $7,000 option, and that's what's important to me, is the Sasquatch package. So I needed the gearing. Like the 470s are important for me. I also like that it makes the truck feel a lot sportier too. It feels like it's got a lot more torque than it really does. I wanted the rear locking differential. That was important. I want the front locking differential. That's important. I like that it comes on the taller Bilstein suspension. That's easily upgradable, so I can get more lift out of it, and it still, in the meantime, will perform how I need it to off-road without having to worry about breaking anything. I like that it comes on 315/70 tires, because again, while I'm waiting for new parts to come in, I can still use this truck. That's still almost a 35-inch tire, and that's plenty for a majority of the stuff that people are going to do. So don't get me wrong, there are quirks about this truck, but at the same time, this is everything that I really wanted. And I had been looking at even lower trims than this. I had found a 2022 2.3 liter, that's the 4-cylinder turbo with a 7-speed manual in it, for only $42,000. But then this popped up. This has the 270 go boost with the 10-speed. That alone, that's also like a $2,000 or more upgrade. That is important because it's got a significantly better power, and also even just for the ease of making videos, I wouldn't be able to do it as easy if I had the manual. I think the manual would be fun off-road, but it also can be more challenging too. And if my fiance ever wants to drive this, she can just hop in and go. She drives stick. She drove it in my 19 Mustang GT, no problem, but she doesn't necessarily want to drive stick all the time. So I don't think that the Bronco is a bad vehicle. I don't actually regret my purchase at all. I set out to maybe make the internet a little mad, and I think I did exactly that. And sure, it lacks some of the nice interior features of some of the higher trims, but like I was saying, it still has a really big center screen. There's an over 8-inch center screen. You still have a digital dash. You still get all these computer-controlled four-wheel drive modes, the GOAT modes that they call them in here. Now, someone had also made comments about the Ford Pass app, and although it doesn't give me, like the keyless entry, that would be really convenient and comes on a lot of other cars that are in a lower price point. It does give you remote start, so that is nice to have. Even on a base model, you can activate the remote start from essentially anywhere that you have cell service, and it'll send a signal to the car and fire it up, and you also have the option to extend the duration of that remote start. So there are still cool features and good tech built into the base model Bronco. I've already had the computer hooked up and messed around in ForeScan to disable like the double honk that I don't like. You can actually increase the rear speaker volume using ForeScan, so that's been done. It doesn't sound nearly as bad now. Is it lacking some low range? Sure, but again, that's easily fixable by adding a subwoofer in here, and there's lots of companies that make kits for them, so it's not really a big deal. This truck will be modified from how it is right now. Like, yeah, sure, Ford gives it to you like this, but it leaves you opportunity to add things that you like, and we've already got some other stuff on the way too, as far as, like, you can buy a winch package from Ford too, but you'll be shocked at the price of that. So I've got a rough country winch mount on the way. I have a rough country winch. I've used it on 2 other vehicles before, and I'm going to put it on this one because it's never let me down and it's got me out of a couple sticky situations. But there's no way that I'm paying the price that Ford wants for their Warn winch setup. It's just ridiculous. You can buy a fog light package from Ford, or you can put on better fog lights. So I have Morimoto fog lights to put on this thing. I've also got Morimoto big bangers to put on the A-pillars. My point is, the base model Sasquatch Bronco is probably all you really need, because this truck is so modular and everything is labeled accessory ready. It allows you to bolt things on without having to do extreme modifications to the knee bolt, and you kind of personalize it and make it your own, and I think this is going to overall be a great truck for me in the long run. So for all the negative people in the comments saying, oh, he didn't do his research, like he should have looked into what he was buying, like that's what you get for not looking into it. No, I did look into it. I know exactly what I wanted. I got exactly what I wanted. I almost settled for something else, but in the end, I did get exactly what I wanted to in this truck. So I'm going to make it my own, and I'm going to enjoy it. You can keep being negative all your life if that's what you want to do, but I'm going to enjoy this truck.